job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving and sitting courtside cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA.
Candace Parker just dropped a nuclear bomb on the WNBA commissioner. This wasn't commentary. This was a mic drop from the heavens, sending shockwaves through the league. Forget subtle, this was a full court press of facts, frustration, and undeniable fire that exposed everything wrong at the top. If you're a WNBA fan, you need to hear this.
Candace Parker ended up dropping some big facts on First Take, man, talking about resentment on younger players from older players and retired players. She had a great dialogue.
Parker didn't dance around the issue. She attacked Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's handling of the league head on, leaving fans gasping and executives sweating. This wasn't a gentle nudge. It was a straight up verbal fast break that revealed what many of us have been whispering for months. And honestly, it wasn't even close. Parker said what absolutely needed to be said, and the league is reeling.
You look at the WNBA, whether we've speculated about resentment or whatever it is, ultimately it comes down to the fact that there were an abundance of women in the WNBA doing tremendous work on behalf of the WNBA and the game of basketball, and you just sense that folks were feeling an absence of appreciation for what they had done and what their collective contribution was to bring the WNBA to where it is now and where it evidently is going. Can you speak to that collective frustration that some may have been feeling, and whether or not you think it's something that's being overcome as you all thrive and move forward and continue to promote and uplift this league?
So, you know Stephen A. Smith. He never shies away from the tough questions. He sat down with Candace Parker on ESPN's First Take and went straight for the jugular. He brought up the elephant in the WNBA locker room, that growing buzz about resentment toward Caitlin Clark. Are veteran players feeling overshadowed? Is the spotlight shifting too fast for some? Smith asked what everyone has been thinking, but so few have dared to say out loud. And with Candace Parker across from him, it was the perfect storm of raw insight, unapologetic honesty, and a long overdue conversation about the underlying tension brewing in this bold new era of women's basketball. This was the moment everything changed.
W has grown so much, and it's just been amazing to watch. When you put it on television, the numbers don't lie, and visibility matters. Being able to have slots on ABC and ESPN. I know a couple years ago was the first time that, the NCAA tournament was put on ABC, and we saw what the viewership looked like. So just, looking at the growth of the league, the style of play, now there's, being expansion teams and all that stuff. So as a fan, as a lover of the WNBA, I'm excited where it's at.
And here's where things took a truly powerful turn. While Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has been fumbling the PR playbook, offering lukewarm takes, and completely missing the moment to elevate the league's biggest rising star, Candace Parker delivered a masterclass in leadership. With grace, stunning clarity, and unapologetic honesty, Parker said what needed to be said. She didn't just defend Caitlin Clark's impact, she amplified it, reminding everyone that true growth in the WNBA means celebrating new stars, not minimizing them. In a moment where the commissioner seemed completely lost at sea, it was Candace Parker who brought the vision, the powerful voice, and the fire the league desperately needed. If you're ready for real leadership in the WNBA, you're going to love what she said next.
I'm like Candace Parker, look, you shouldn't feel that way. The same way she brought up the idea of Cheryl Miller supporting her, that's how everybody should be. But it's more so of they want to paint the narrative that it's a white and black thing going on. And now that toxic energy is spilling over to people who don't even watch the games. So now they feel like they are a part of the league just because they know or feel like they know what's going on with the race thing. Like, cut it out, man.
Parker said something that resonated with every single true fan. It's so surprising to me because I get asked all the time if I feel resentful about where the WNBA is today. She spoke with a clarity and wisdom that makes you wonder why she isn't leading the entire league herself right now. She continued, "My goal was to leave the game better than I found it. Do I think Cheryl Miller is resentful that I had a league to play in? No. She's been a mentor, supporting, and loving. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA. Can you hear that? That's the sound of a true leader speaking. Someone who genuinely understands what the WNBA stands for, what it represents, and what it needs to keep growing. It's the complete opposite of what we've seen from Cathy Engelbert. Parker's words reflect real passion and a genuine commitment to lifting others, embodying the spirit of mentorship and progress that the league desperately needs. Drop a tar in the comments if you agree."
And when questioned about the racism and sexism some of the players in the W were facing, she compared it to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry as no big deal. Actually something that the league wanted to see.
Now everybody has a Twitter finger. Everybody can have reach to, the WNBA and make comments. But really the key is let's keep it about basketball. That's my thing. And when we do that, then we're able to really grow the game and what it represents. There are some talented players that have been in this league. But now, because of visibility, listen, I still know the Dominique Wilkins. I still know, all of those players, the Dr. J's and all that stuff. I don't think they're not salty that MJ came along and grew the game. I mean, that's what it is. And so I think that the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Now it's about business to me. It's about taking care of business and making sure. I would like to see, and I'll say this in the CBA, I would like to see more roster spots because we can't have 11 or 12 women on a team. You got to lean into the player growth and player development.
All right, let's take a moment to discuss Cathy Engelbert because she's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. Remember that bizarre comment she made about Caitlin Clark possibly getting hurt? When asked about the Clark phenomenon, Engelbert couldn't even give the talented rookie her proper recognition without immediately shifting focus to other players. No league's ever about one player, she said. Okay, debatable, but then she added the most tone-deaf remark possible. That player could get hurt or whatever. Are you serious? Your league's biggest star, someone who has attracted millions of new viewers, and you casually mentioned she might get injured. That kind of comment shows a disturbing lack of awareness and leadership, leaving fans frustrated and absolutely bewildered, and it gets even worse. When directly questioned about the racist and toxic behavior directed toward players like Caitlin Clark, Engelbert completely fumbled her response. Instead of taking a firm stand against racism, misogyny, and harassment, she offered a vague answer about rivalry being good for the league. The WNBA Players Association had to publicly criticize her for failing to address the serious issues their players face. This is the person supposed to lead women's basketball into the future? The commissioner tasked with protecting and promoting the league's biggest stars. Honestly, it's hard to see how her leadership inspires confidence or respect.
Merchandise sales were also up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics, and Clark was the top-selling player and is fifth among athletes across all sports. Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks.
Now, contrast that with how Candace Parker demonstrates true leadership and mentorship. When Stephen A. Smith inquired about the frustrations some veteran players might be feeling, Parker didn't dodge. She didn't make excuses. Instead, she responded with clarity and purpose. Let's keep it about basketball. Those 5 simple words encapsulate a powerful philosophy, focusing on the sport and its integrity rather than distractions or controversy. Parker emphasized that when the league truly centers on the game, it can grow in a meaningful way. That's my thing. When we do that, we're able to really develop the league and what it stands for. So I think the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Her message is crystal clear. Keep the focus on basketball, on the players, and on the competition. While Cathy Engelbert makes questionable comments about injuries and fails to address serious issues like racism and toxicity, Parker prioritizes what truly matters, the sport and the players' experiences. She continued, "Rivalry and reincarnation are important, but I want to keep them within the lines of the game. That's what's most important." Parker's approach shows a deep understanding that excitement, drama, and compelling storylines can exist without descending into toxicity or chaos. Her emphasis on integrity, focus, and respect for the game offers a blueprint for leadership that could truly elevate the league. In stark contrast to Engelbert's missteps and awkward responses, Parker exemplifies the kind of leadership that inspires trust, unity, and growth. Exactly what the WNBA needs moving forward.
Happening. Tell us what happened. Tell us when it happened. Tell us the measures that you plan to put in place to stop this from happening. Put a name on it, Cathy. You come out and talk to the league. You come out and talk to the media. You come out and talk to the fans about what's going on.
What makes this situation even more impactful is Stephen A. Smith's immediate recognition of Parker's perspective. As one of Caitlin Clark's biggest advocates since her entry into the league, Smith clearly understood the depth of Parker's message. His reaction during their conversation revealed that he truly gets it. He knows what the WNBA needs right now. For months, Smith has been emphasizing how crucial Caitlin Clark is for the league's growth and success. Meanwhile, he has watched Engelbert stumble through interviews, failing to acknowledge Clark's remarkable influence. So when Smith sits across from Candace Parker and hears her speak with such incredible insight and clarity about supporting the next generation, it's obvious he's thinking the same thing many fans are. Why isn't this woman leading the league? Parker's wisdom doesn't just underscore her leadership qualities, it highlights what the league truly needs to thrive.
Turned her Twitter private. She hasn't proven or provided evidence that she was at the game yesterday. People who barely watch basketball or grift for engagement picked up on it and it blew up. There's yet to be any video evidence.
The response to Candace Parker's comments has ignited a wave of praise across social media. Fans are applauding her for demonstrating authentic leadership, with many posting remarks like, "Finally, someone with common sense," and "This is what real leadership looks like." Her appearance on First Take has become a rallying point for supporters frustrated with the league's current direction. For months, fans have expressed deep disappointment with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's leadership, criticizing her for minimizing Caitlin Clark's impact, mishandling sensitive issues like racism and toxicity, and just seeming completely out of touch with what the league truly needs to grow. In contrast, Parker, who retired just before Clark's rookie season, has consistently embraced and supported the next generation with grace, wisdom, and genuine enthusiasm. While Engelbert appears more interested in spreading credit thin and maintaining the existing hierarchy, Parker exemplifies the kind of leadership that prioritizes development and the upliftment of young talent. Her stance underscores the absolute importance of fostering a league culture that values progress, unity, and the future of women's basketball above all else.
Charter flights. Yeah, the day I retired, I said, "This
Literally.
bullshit. This has got to be on some bullshit." They said chartered flight, like literally I pressed send on the little retirement post, shed a little tear, and then Cathy Engelbert want to come out and be like, "Chartered flights for the whole league." I said,
Yeah. It's
Candace Parker understands something that Cathy Engelbert seemingly doesn't. Caitlin Clark is not just another talented player, she is a once-in-a-generation athlete who has dramatically elevated the visibility and popularity of women's basketball. Parker recognizes this because she was once that transformative figure herself. When Parker entered the league in 2008, she made history as the first player to win both Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. She carried the weight of unbelievably high expectations and understood the immense responsibility of being a face of the league. That's why her comments about Caitlin Clark carry so much weight. They come from personal experience, from a place of deep understanding, and from genuine respect. That's the difference.
happy for y'all. I am. I'm happy. No, but it shows, and that's the thing is like the player experience
means something.
It means so much because when you are taken care of and all you have to think of is this, and it's just easier, you play better because that's all you have to think of.
Let's also consider the charter flight situation, which vividly illustrates the fundamental difference between Parker and Engelbert's leadership styles. According to Parker, the announcement of the WNBA's $50 million commitment to provide chartered flights was made on the very day she announced her retirement. After sharing her farewell post in a few tears, Cathy Engelbert took the opportunity to highlight the league's new policy, emphasizing chartered flights for all players. While some might see this as a coincidence or just poor timing, Parker's frustration underscores a deeper issue with Engelbert's leadership, a profound disconnect from the players who laid the groundwork for the league's success. Parker dedicated 16 years of her life, risking her body, winning championships, and elevating women's basketball. For the league to unveil such a significant improvement on player conditions, just as a veteran star steps away, feels misaligned and sends a troubling message about priorities and timing. Whether intentional or not, it reflects poorly on league leadership. It suggests a focus on optics, rather than genuine recognition and appreciation for those who built the league's foundation. Parker's stance emphasizes the critical importance of authentic acknowledgement and respectful timing in leadership.
Rivalry is super important. I think conversation is super important. You know, I tuned in when Kevin Durant went back and played Russell Westbrook and they bumped shoulders and everybody was tuned in, but I want to keep it within the lines of the game. And I think that's what's the most important.
When Candace Parker discusses the WNBA, she demonstrates a keen understanding of the delicate balance between honoring the league's history and embracing its future stars who are elevating the game to new heights. She doesn't see Caitlin Clark's rise as a threat to her legacy. Instead, she views it as validation of the hard work and progress made by her generation. You know, iTunes didn't. When Kevin Durant went back and played Russell Westbrook, and they bumped shoulders and everyone was tuned in, Parker said, highlighting how rivalries and compelling storylines absolutely help boost viewership, yet she emphasizes what truly matters. I want to keep it within the lines of the game. This approach exemplifies true leadership, knowing that drama and excitement can exist without descending into toxicity or social media chaos. It's about respecting the game and the players, first and foremost.
All the fans, the WNBA fans, the black women, get used to everyone talking about Caitlin Clark until she retires. And then after she retires, she's still going to be talked about. Because, we never seen nothing like her. So get used to it. You can keep bringing up the fans. You can keep bringing up pathetic stuff. You can keep bringing up non-irrelevant stuff that nobody cares about. Y'all can keep bringing that because y'all going to keep bringing up color, race. If this was any other sport, I'm telling you now, they would not care. I don't care if you blue, purple, orange, yellow. They don't care. They're going to talk about you. But get used to everyone talking about Caitlin Clark until she retires.
Let's be frank about what we're witnessing. When a retired player exhibits stronger leadership, better communication, and a clearer understanding of what the league needs than the current commissioner, that signals a serious problem. When fans are openly calling for that retired player to take over the commissioner's role, it indicates a crisis. Cathy Engelbert's time at the helm has been characterized by missed opportunities, ineffective communication, and a seeming inability to fully support and elevate the league's biggest stars. She's had multiple chances to demonstrate strong, decisive leadership, especially around issues like racism and player safety, but has consistently fallen short. In contrast, Candace Parker has exemplified what true leadership looks like. She has shown vision, integrity, and a moral compass that the league desperately needs right now. Candace Parker has demonstrated a clear understanding of this delicate balance. Her approach to supporting emerging stars like Caitlin Clark, while respecting the veterans who paved the way, is precisely what the league needs. Her focus on keeping the game centered on basketball, alongside her acknowledgement of broader cultural conversations surrounding the sport, exemplifies the nuanced leadership required during this pivotal moment for the WNBA. The key question now is whether league ownership and the board will recognize what fans have already seen, that the WNBA deserves leadership commensurate with the incredible talent and potential of its players. Candace Parker has provided a compelling example of what effective leadership looks like, marked by integrity, vision, and deep respect for the game. The responsibility now lies with the league to act. The players, the fans, and future generations of stars like Caitlin Clark all deserve leadership that will truly protect, elevate, and celebrate their contributions. Candace Parker has clearly shown the path forward. The question remains, will the WNBA be wise enough to listen and act accordingly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more hard-hitting sports analysis.